Hello fellow gamers, RoboCharged here, back with another Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord video. In this one, I'll go over how to utilize a couched lance while on horseback, and also how to brace your pike when on foot, including how to form a whole battle line of braced spears to counter a cavalry charge. So let's get to it. Okay. So first let's look at how to tell what type of polearm you have equipped. When in your inventory or trading, you can bring the cursor over your weapon and you will see some orange colored tags at the top above the stats. Some will just have the couched lance or spear brace tag, while others will have both. You can even click on the tags to see on the left how the spear stats differ for each type of use. Alright, I know I said I'd go over the couched lance on horseback, but I'm on a camel for this demonstration since this guy is the only one in the custom battle menu that has a couchable lance to use. So now that I'm using a couchable lance, next I need to build up some speed. When you are going fast enough, this icon will appear in the bottom right corner of your screen. You can then hit either right bumper on Xbox or R1 on PlayStation to toggle couching your lance. Whoa, I somehow completely whiffed on that run, but mainly you just go around and line up targets and let the lance do its thing for a big damage multiplier instead of just trying to time a stab with the right trigger. When couching a lance, however, you'll find that it becomes much slower to turn your horse, or in this case my mount, and the longer that you maintain a couch, the more your spearhead starts to wave around, and therefore it becomes harder to land an accurate hit. So I'd advise waiting until you have your target lined up well directionally in front of you, and then timing your couch for around 2 or 3 seconds before you make contact. Then if still couched after contact, uncouch and recouch the same way on your next attack run. I should also mention that it is possible to be riding a horse that isn't fast enough. I've heard the Sumpters weren't before, but I tested one recently and it worked. However, it was a no-go with this war mule I tried out. When using a braceable spear, next you just need to put away your shield if you have one equipped for this to work. Now you can see the icon in the bottom right and can brace or unbrace using the right bumper on Xbox or R1 for PlayStation. Using the right stick, you can also angle your spear a little bit in different directions to try and better line up an enemy as their charge draws closer. Technically, any unit in the game with a long enough spear can spear brace, but there's a problem, and it's a big one. Just as you can't spear brace while using a shield, neither can other troops, and the AI isn't smart enough to unequip their shields in those situations. Plus, there is no command to toggle that, like with dismount or hold fire for instance. Not having an actual brace spears command is pretty unfortunate as well. Leaving it up to the AI to handle it automatically is, well, much less than ideal. So unless playing on a computer where you can make use of some fantastic mods such as the Realistic Battle mod, spear bracing is rarely seen. So you need to find troops that meet these two types of criteria in order to have them be able to automatically and reliably brace their spears against a cavalry charge. You need them to not have a shield, and for them to have a braceable spear. And as it turns out, that is a really short list. It consists of the Battanian Raiders and the Valandian pikemen, and that's it. And I even went through and checked all the bandits and everything. Fortunately, there are the hired pike and hired elite pike mercenaries available for hire at taverns that also fit the bill. You can also recruit them as hired spears, even though they do have a shield to start, and then upgrade them to later be able to use for this purpose. Additionally, there are 2 cavalry unit types that lack a shield and have a braceable spear. The first one is the Azarae's Beni Xylo soldier. However, since they have javelins, you would not only have to order them to dismount, but also to hold fire to ensure they keep their spears out and ready. And then there is the Empires. Well, I don't even know if I should attempt to pronounce this one, but here goes, the Alephthore. Whether it's the recruit, expert, or veteran version, If ordered to dismount, these guys offer another option for forming a braced spear pike line. Formation-wise, only the first 2 rows will do the spear brace, so it's best to stretch out the battle line. Going with the basic line or the wedge works best. Shield wall and square don't even work at all, since they all get jam-packed together and just end up standing there in each other's way, instead of bracing for the charge. Now there are many spear units with shields that can be effective against cavalry without doing the spear brace. The Vlandian Sergeant and Battanian Oathsworn, for instance, if put in a shield wall or square formation, they will still give you 2 rows of spears sticking out from their shields, with the added benefit of not being vulnerable to archers. All in all, the spear brace isn't as effective as I think it should be, but it does have its uses. It's just a shame that it's so poorly implemented with the shield issue and not having a manual command for it. Spears in general are underpowered in this game in my opinion. There are ways to use banner boosts, skill perks, hero commanders, etc. to try and boost their effectiveness for yourself and your army. There's plenty of those types of guides out there, I believe, so I won't try and go through all that in this video. Instead, in closing, I'll just quickly go over how I like to utilize my pikemen units when I do use them. They are at their best when you have them in their own separate infantry formation to specialize in halting an initial cavalry charge. But afterwards, it's best to have stronger, close-quarter infantry units behind them to help take out all the mounted and dismounted enemies that survived and are stuck in the crowd. I also sometimes use them as a way to fend off or at least slow down cavalry attacking my archers. This way the archers have some protection and also more time to pelt them with arrows before being run down. Well, I think that's about all I was hoping to cover in this one. I know the game on console lacks tutorials and doesn't even list all the buttons. I didn't even know much of this stuff for quite a while at first myself. So I hope at least some of you could find some of this useful despite the game already being out for so long. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, take care.